How you doing, people? Want to do a wee video, right? I've been watching this thing about Oxford Council or Oxfordshire Council are going to make climate lockdown down there and break in the areas into zones. I've been watching people like Kate Hopkins and other people talking about this, right? Now, people still don't get and comprehend what's going on here, right? Now, I've heard that somebody has gave a phone number for people to hook up and get down to Oxfordshire Council to challenge this. Now, Oxfordshire Council and Oxford Council is an entity, it's a corporation. You cannot write to a council because there is no remedy, because you're writing to a corporation, a fictitious name that has no right of mind to contract and no life. And this is how these scumbags that represent this or work for this corporation escape liability. Now I want to be crystal clear on something here, right? Men and women that represent corporations such as local authority or councils, Oxford Council, right, do not own the air, they do not own the land, and they do not own the water, right? Although a lot of people out there have not woke up and thinking that they've got power over them. We, the people, the men and women, are sovereign people, right? And what's actually happening here is these people are using a foreign language, legalese against the people, word trickery, the illusion of power over the men and women, sons and daughters. Now, the biggest part of this scam is this is a global agenda. The World Health Organization, the World Economic Forum, NATO, your governments and the banks are all part of this fraud. And that's a fact. And the people are being deceived and they don't really know. Because they don't pay attention, the biggest majority of there, accept the narrative that's getting flung in their face. Even though it's in their face, they still don't know what's happening because they don't do their research and don't pay attention. Now, I've been watching this thing about Oxford Council, and right now I don't see remedy with the people that's talking about it. They talk about it, they explain it, but where is the remedy? There is no remedy. I don't know if it is because the people don't know where to go. They think that standing outside buildings and protesting, right, I've learnt a lot. It doesn't work. You have to take these people head on, like a collision course. Now, if you want to make an impact, what's going to happen? This is a message to the people at Oxford. Do not consent to this, right? Remove consent. We are governed by consent and policed by consent. And if you think, how do you come to that conclusion? Well, these people, these politicians, MSPs, MPs, require your consent to be in power. Just as like the people can remove consent and remove them if they're corrupt, and we can prove they're corrupt and tyrannous, right? So what my solution is, write to the man or woman in private capacity under full personal liability, who sometimes acts as the head of Oxford Council. Put that to the left hand side of the document, and whoever's writing the letter, and there's a lot of clever people out there, so I take it they'll know what they're doing, put the name and address of the man or woman to the right hand side. The left hand side is the debtor, right? We the people are the creditor. We don't owe a debt unless you've took something out with a private corporation based in fraud. Now, what has to happen here as well is you have to challenge the jurisdiction of this man or woman. And also challenge the false presumption of authority over the people. Now, for this man or woman, or men or women representing the so-called Oxford Council or any other council like Glasgow City Council, Edinburgh Council, blah, 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 right? They would have to claim the people property, right? They would have to say that they're their property and they've got control over them. The other thing is, because they're a private corporation, like all public services, there has to be a contract in place. There is no contract. It's all based on constructive fraud, criminal conversion and identity theft. That's how the people are getting treated the way they're getting treated. We have no services and they're getting away with things like, it came to my attention a few days ago that when they have parties at Christmas and New Year, they can claim it on their expenses. Well, that's not what the people's purse is for. You notice I never say public purse, people's purse, right? Public is one of their terminologies. Citizen. This is why they're doing what they're doing, because they're treating people like citizens. A citizen belongs to a corporation, has duties and obligations under the United Kingdom Corporation, right? It's also came in my attention the so-called Corporation United Kingdom has seemingly passed 2024 climate lockdowns, right? Well, we the people cannot allow this, and we the people can stop this. We have to mobilise the people all over Scotland, the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, and put a stop to this. These people do not have that power. They do not have that authority, right? And it's time for us to step up to the mark and be counted. I keep shouting in Scotland time and time again, I need the numbers, but I never seem to get the numbers. They seem to dilly-dally about with other people walking the streets, standing the pavements with billboards. That's no remedy. It's one thing, as I said in previous videos, awakening people. It's another thing getting people to get off their arses and do something about it. This is a dangerous situation, people. It's like next year, the Muppet, Nicola Sturgeon, seems to think that she's going to bring in digital ID trials, right? This is them pushing this agenda, this narrative, global agenda, global narrative, full steam ahead, people. They're trying to railroad it and get the people to bow and accept this. Now, this all coincides with each other. The climate lockdowns, the control, you can't go to one zone, as they say, zones. Kate Hopkins, I think, says there's 6 zones in Oxford, and you can't leave them. You've got a set time and distance that you can go some place to get something, and it'll all be in reach, and you can't go any further. Well, we can't allow that, because these people, these men and women, don't have that power. They don't have that authority, and that's a fact, right? You take them on head on, 1-to-1, and challenge them. Different ball game when you put them in a private capacity under full liability. No, as a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, a manager, a director, a shareholder, or whatever, right? Different ball game, because you're taking them right out of their comfort zone and you're removing the mask that they're hiding behind. Once the presumption of authority and the jurisdiction has been challenged, a statement of claim has to be made by the people, for the people. That is, a statement of claim is the man or woman, or any man or woman that represent the corporation known as Oxfordshire Council, have no jurisdiction. They have no power over the people without consent. They don't own the lands. That's a fact. And they don't have the power to put gates or whatever they're going to do in the areas to lock people in their area. That's a fact, right? This can be stopped when the people say enough is enough and we don't consent, right? People right now are just too worried about Christmas, running back and forward, getting this and that. There's a shitstorm coming right through the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales, and it has to be stopped, right? We have to put an end to this nonsense. Only the people can do this. You also ask him, is he making a claim that the people's property, as I said earlier, in the contract, right? If there's no contract and they're not claiming the people's property, there is no jurisdiction. And then on paper, legislation doesn't count, because as I keep telling people time and time again, in the legislation, statutes and acts, it relates to person, and that's what the people are being treated as, persons, entities. Entity is an independent existence, that's the definition. That means the person is attached to the man or woman, and the men and women, the sons and daughters, are held surety and liable for whatever they want to throw at them, and that's a fact. And I verify this, private capacity, under full personal liability, even under the charge of perjury, and anywhere in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales, right? Because I know the game, but I just can't get the people behind me to back me up to do what I want to do, to put an end to this nonsense in Scotland. What happens here, people, is because people think democracy is there. They think register to vote and vote, that gives them rights. Well, let me be crystal clear. That does not give you rights. It gives you duties, obligations and responsibilities to a legal system, legal society. You don't have rights, you have privileges. And this is being shown when they think that they can lock down areas and put people behind gates and restrict their movement. That has to stop, and it can stop when we say no and do something about it. Now, what's got to come after certain questions are asked is liability notice. And you put this man or woman in charge of this local authority or council, Oxfordshire council, and tell him or her if they try to impose their will on the people without consent, he or she will be held responsible and in a private capacity under full liability. Right? Liability notice. And you tell them that the people then will put a notice of remove consent and get them removed from public office, because these corporations think with the House of Lords they can give each other titles, fictitious titles. Right? That's how they escape liability all over the lands of England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. Fictitious titles. They're hiding behind a mask, people. It's like a judge sitting on the bench or the bank with a wig and a robe. That's his office, right? Office can't do nothing. Only the man or woman under that robe can do something. And if it means good or bad, or cause a tort or harm or trespass, that's what they're causing to the people, right? Please, people, in Oxford, start to come together and put an end to this nonsense, right? It has to stop. Yous are being used as a guinea pig. And if they get that done there, they're going to try it here, there and everywhere. And we can't allow that. No man or woman has the right to restrict movement, right? You don't see them doing that with the refugees or the migrants coming into this country. You don't see them getting digital ID. Right? They're getting everything that's gone and our people are struggling. And I'm sorry I've got to say that, but it's a fact. Our people are struggling. Our pensioners have got to eat or heat. Can't get hospital treatment because the hospital and the surgeries and the doctors are lying to the people. People are dying right now as I'm doing this video because they can't get treatment for cancer and other severe illnesses. But people don't seem to worry about that like they don't seem to worry about anything else. Well, it's time to start worrying, people, because this is taking a new dimension. And again, I verify this under a charge of perjury. If the people don't come together through the 4 jurisdictions, this is the thing. Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales are corporations. They're part of the United Kingdom Corporation. We the people, as I said in previous videos, are on the landmass. We stand on the land, we stand on the pavements, we walk on the grass. The landmass is entirely different. And we the people are sovereign. The government in Westminster, Scottish Parliament, Welsh Parliament and Irish Parliament are not sovereign. They're corporations, and every man or woman that represents that. That's why they keep pushing the word officer. Officer is part of a corporation. And that's the bit you have to understand, people. And this is where people are going wrong, because they don't comprehend and understand what's really actually happening. Plus there's a lot of misinformation out there misdirecting people. We have to take firm action against these people and hold them personally liable. As I said, they don't have the power or the authority without consent, and that's a magic word, consent. An example would be, can I come to somebody's house and take their telly without their consent because somebody says that they owe a debt? Somehow I don't think so. These are all third-party interlopers, right? Now, the World Health Organization, people, is a corporation, right? Men and women representing this corporation are trying to sell you, what's that word I'm looking for? A belief. Their belief. Well, their belief doesn't count when it comes to our well-being and the people, right? It's the same as World Economic Forum. They want to kill animals, cats and dogs and cattle, do away with the farms. They want to buy up all the farmland so there's no control, and they control everything. We can't allow that. The shops, they're ripping the piss out of the people now because they keep putting prices up when there is no food shortages. They're lying to the people, right? I've been watching prices in Aldi the last couple of days, and twice in a week they've jumped, right? 10, 15, 20 odd pence, 25 pence. People don't pay attention. They just fill their shopping basket, go and pay for it, and that's the end of it. People have to pay attention to what's going on. The digital ID and digital currency, programming currency are all part of this agenda. So be clear on that, people. Anything that they're trying to do isn't for the people's benefit, it's for the corporations in control. They want a one world government, one world banking system, one world benefit system, one world police system, and one world army, NATO, and every other country coming together as one. You think of the chaos that because if they get that control people over the people, they could do what they want, right? And that's a fact. They could do whatever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it because the people sat back and let it happen. What I can say is to the people of Oxford, get out there and do something about that. Challenge the jurisdiction, the authority of the man or woman that's in charge of that entity known as council. Remove the false presumption of authority over the people, because the people have got a bigger say than just a couple of dozen. Like the Scottish Parliament's only 129 dummies that's making up statutes, acts and laws that they call law when it's not actually a law. Statutes and acts and regulations are rules. When you break the Road Traffic Act, you're not breaking a law, you're breaking a rule. To break a law, there has to be a crime, harm, loss or injury, and there has to be a victim or a man or woman making a claim that you've caused them harm, right? These people in these local authorities, councils, are trespassing on people's rights. They're dictating how you're going to live, what you're going to spend and how you're going to spend, how you're going to feed yourself. And that's the serious implications of the digital programming currency. That's where the people have to do their research and waking up. And that's a fact, because this is very dangerous times, people. And it has to stop, and it has to stop at a fast pace. Please, people, if anything, please pay attention to what I'm telling you, because I've been fighting a charge of perjury. And as I said, I've not seen anybody in any media platform that will do that. That's a big statement of claim to make, and I'm making it as an honourable man, a warrior for the people, right? And I try to help you, educate you, give you knowledge. There's a lot of people out there scamming people, wanting money, giving me money here, put money in a PayPal, put money in a bank account. Well, I would like to think if I was stuck, and I know some of the people out there that had knowledge that I was stuck, I would like to think they would return the knowledge for free, as I give knowledge here today for free. That's the way it should work. We should be working as communities, people, sovereign people, helping each other, standing by each other like families, brothers and sisters, right? And that's a fact. Please, people, don't let this go any further. We, the people, have the power to stop this and stop it at a rapid pace. They don't have the power, right? And that's a fact. Please, people, share this video far and wide. Get that information out there. It's important that everybody sees this, not because I'm in the video, but because of what I'm telling you and the knowledge I'm giving you and explaining to what's to happen and how it's to happen. Standing outside buildings and protesting with loud tellers isn't working anymore. We have to take it to the next level, the next step in the ladder, and put a stop to this, and we can do it. We have to oppose digital ID. We have to oppose and reject digital currency programming. We have to oppose and reject the World Economic Forum because they have no power, they have no jurisdiction. Where did they get jurisdiction or power over the lands of England, Ireland, Wales and Scotland? They don't. And that's a fact. And all these governments, and even including the EU, the entity known as European Union, have no power. They're unelected scumbags that think they can abuse power by bullying the people. You cannot allow that, people. And that's a fact. Please share this video far and wide to your friends, your aunties, your uncles, mothers, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, neighbours, and get this information out there. We have to up the game, up the steps. Instead of standing at the bottom of the ladder, we need to get to the top of the ladder and take the scumbags at the top down. We start there and we remove power and presumption of authority, then we'll win. The people are unbeatable. It's just a lot of people don't know what I know and other people know. Again, people, I would like to take time to thank the people that's watched this video. I would like to take time and thank the people that's let me be heard. All I ask is please share this information, because that's the way to take this system down. And that's a fact. The 3 things I've told you in the video, that's what you do. A notice of intent to challenge the jurisdiction and false presumption. Statement of claim. We the people are claiming the land, the superior claim. We're claiming the waters and we're claiming the air because they don't have that, right? And that's a fact. And a liability notice or notice of liability telling the man or woman in charge of Oxfordshire Council, if they persist and don't cease and desist, they're going to be held personally liable by every man and woman in that jurisdiction. Because one man, a dozen men or women, 2 dozen men or women can't overpower the people if they know what they're doing, and that's a fact. Anyway, people, you people, take care, be safe and have a good night. And think about what I've said in this video. Again, it's verified private capacity under full liability under a charge of perjury. And anybody that knows my true being for what I've done in the last 11 and a half years, I know what I'm talking about, and that's a fact. I don't ask for nothing for the people. All I ask is for your energy and your support, and spread the knowledge, spread the word to take this system down. Anyway, people, I've went on a wee bit now. I try to keep it as plain and simple. Thank you again for watching this video. You people take care and be safe. Thank you. Bye. Bye bye, people.